Hello, I'm Lewis Adams, and welcome to Local Chats. Melbourne's Josh Cashman is on a roll. After a run of dates touring North America earlier this year, he's back in Australia and he's got a new EP, Beauty in Grey. He will be officially launching the EP with a gig at the Northcote Social Club on the 4th of August. I caught up with him for a chat about his new music. Hi Josh, welcome to the show.
Hey man, thank you for having me.
That's alright. Let's start with your new single, Beauty in Grey. You recorded that in Brunswick's unique Smooch Studios.
Smooch is an old, I should say an old apartment. It's actually quite modern, so you go in there and it actually looks like someone's home. There's like a kitchen, there's a kitchen table, and it's a really beautiful space, and turned it into a recording studio there. Not a whole heap of people know about it. They kind of keep it, under wraps a little bit, because it is a bit of a hidden gem. So recorded the song there about 2 months ago now, and I'm really happy with how it turned out.
What's it like recording in there? Is it a bit different from other studios then?
Yeah, like compared to what I've previously worked in, this is the second song that I've recorded there. It's got really high ceilings, and it's a big open room, so we've got some really roomy natural reverb going on, making some of the drums sound really epically big. And then we set up amps in a lot of different areas of the room as well, which definitely benefited, and you can sort of hear in the production, if you're an active listener anyway, some of the guitar tones that we got, many different amps set up around this big room. It was really nice.
That's really cool. And you're launching this song with a gig at the Northcote Social Club. What can people expect there?
I'm doing it with my full band, which is going to be really cool. We've been working on some new material as I have an EP coming out later in the year, in September. What you hear in Beauty in Grey, a lot of the same instrumentation that you hear in the song, some organic instrumentation mixed with some electronic textures and whatnot, and then obviously my singing over the top. Can't wait for the show. Last time I played there, it was really great.
You were touring around the USA early this year, weren't you, with Tash Sultana, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I was there for about 2.5 months. I did a 3-week tour with Tash, which was amazing. We covered a lot of ground in 3 weeks, and then I stayed on after that as I was showcasing at South by Southwest in Texas, and I also had a week in the studio in LA and a week in the studio in New York also.
How was touring over there compared with Australia?
It was probably my first taste of intense touring when I think there was 11 or 12 shows crammed into a very small amount of time, just over, I think it was around 15 days. So we had a lot of time spent on the bus. We'd be waking up at 5 a.m. and then drive to the next place, or you'd have a connecting flight and whatnot. So it was very intense. Yeah, sort of my first taste of what hardcore touring is really like. It's definitely a job. It's definitely hard work, and all the crowds that we had over there were super responsive. Had a really cool time over there, and now I sort of see you start after that tour. Most of my top listeners now are all over in America, actually.
You've got I guess you could describe it as like an honest, rootsy acoustic sound, and I've seen John Butler and the like listed among your influences. That makes a lot of sense, but do you have any off-the-wall influences to your music? Anything that people wouldn't expect?
It's funny, as a muser, obviously, most of us listen to anything and everything, I suppose.
Yep.
In regards to influences, I don't know, man. It's pretty funny. I listen to a lot of electronic music. I listen to a lot of tech and house on the side. I really like techno and house music, and not that I can really incorporate that into my sound at all, but I've become a lot more of an active listener when it comes to listening to music, whether that be routine music, whether it be ballads, whether it be electronic, and I'd see my sound as like an influence of so many different things combined, from artists like John Butler to old school stuff that, something like Fleetwood Mac that I grew up listening to. And then, I listen to a lot of recently released music as well. And being young, well, I'm only 22, what I hear on the radio and albums that I like, constantly listening to all sorts of music.
I don't know if many people realize that you've got a background in football.
Yeah.
What I've read about it, you were quite good, but you gave it up for the music. Do you ever think about that life that never was?
Nah, I sort of believe in, all that really matters is what's ahead. I don't regret a thing with all that. I think it taught me good morals, it taught me dedication, I made some of my lifelong friends out of it. Towards the end of it all, it wasn't making me the happiest person, and music kind of overtook that, and music's probably something that's made me super happy since starting and since quitting football. I never really sit and ponder on what could have been or what should have been. It's just the way that everything works is the way it's supposed to work, I think. I don't regret a thing.
Yeah, I guess you got to go with what makes you happy. I think you sort of touched on it. Were there many carryover skills between those two very different fields?
Yeah, I was going to say they're like the complete polar opposite to career choice, definitely an athlete just compared to an artist. In saying that, you know, you do learn a lot of good things through that, and the main one was just kind of like dedication and work ethic. Definitely is something that I took away from that. People skills, working with teams, working in a team environment. I tour a lot with my band and perform with my band, and then, you know, you have a lot of different people in the team, and you're always surrounded by other people in the industry. You know, I would have taken quite a fair bit out of it, yeah.
So what's next for Josh Cashman?
I am doing my launch, and then after the launch, I'm doing a parlour house tour around Australia where my fans can host me performing in their house. So that's going to be cool. And then after that, I'm going to be releasing my EP, which is in September. The rest of the year, we'll just be touring around that release. We'll be looking forward to touring most of Australia later on this year.
Yeah, sounds like there's a fair bit to look forward to.
I'm very excited, man. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for having a chat with me.
That's all right, man.
You can find more interviews at localchats.com.au. Hit us up on Twitter or Facebook @localchats. Thank you for listening. Bye.